One, livestock facility siting. This is also a potential administrative rule. You have two letters, by the way, in here that you can reference on your own, and I guess they're on the left-hand side. The one is, in fact, we made comments on behalf of the association to the DNR, to Carol Holden, on the NR 151. And these comments were put together by Chuck Nahn, who was an engineer in the Madison area, has worked with us on this. In fact, he did training sessions at conventions 2 years in a row, 3-4 years ago, when this was just coming out. And you'll read his comments, including particularly some of the cost concerns and some of that, and they parallel what the Engineers Association and the municipal groups have done. And then I also included in the last 2 pages some of the comments that the ag groups had. So we wanted to be on record supporting the same comments that those groups did. The other letter is to DATCAP, and that's the last issue I want to talk about, and that is the livestock siting. Now, the livestock siting law provided that the state would set standards over like 5 areas: odor management, nutrient management, runoff, and 2 others. These standards were set by a panel of experts over 4 years ago. Engineers, professors at the university, people that had expertise in these ag areas. The standards are what the big facilities, over 500 animal units, have to comply with. And what's happened is we're getting more and more big facilities, whether it's Rosendale with 8,000 animal feedlot proposed, whether it's up in Taylor County by Medford, 5,000 animal feedlot. I understand over in Adams County there's a 4,800 animal feedlot proposed. When you get that big, you have a lot of impacts, but you also start having questions like nutrient management. You got to have a bunch of land to spread that manure. Now, they're all not methane digester based. In fact, the methane digesters are great for odor control because they actually capture the odor and use that for energy production. The problem I will tell you from their standpoint is it's a high-cost system, and quite frankly, they're getting peanuts for the energy. They're cheaper, they're not getting the return that's going to sustain it. So one of the things that could be done is to give more energy return and give those, an incentive, a bigger incentive as opposed to some other things. Now, on the odor side, we probably had some of the first standards in the country for odor, but we also have now more experience 4 years later. This letter is intended, and on May 12th it'll go to the actual DATCAP board, and they will take in the comments they had on public hearings around the state to decide if they're going to reconvene the panel of experts. And I'm saying, in this letter on behalf of the association, they should at the minimum reconvene the panel and open up the discussion, because we're 4 years later, we have more concerns. This will not change the process or law. In other words, it's not going to change the legislative part. It's intended to hopefully look at the standards, and it may beef it up. There may be other techniques that could meet the standards and other options. So I hope that this is a type of, Paul says, a lot of administrative rules that could be discussed and follow the next year.